Did you know your blood type could make you more resistant to certain diseases? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but the tiny antigens on your red blood cells, or lack thereof, can play a significant role in how your body responds to viruses and heart conditions. We often think of blood type only when it comes to transfusions, but the science goes so much deeper, revealing a hidden layer of our personal biology that influences our health in ways we're only just beginning to fully understand. This isn't about medical advice, but about exploring the fascinating correlations researchers have found. So, which blood type gives you the best protection? Is there a super blood type that acts like a biological shield? The answer isn't that simple, as each type comes with its own set of pros and cons. Let's start with the most common blood type in the world, type O. If you have type O blood, you're what we call the universal donor for red blood cells, which is already pretty heroic. But the benefits don't stop there. They lack the A and B antigen on their surface. This smooth cellular surface seems to give type O individuals a distinct advantage when it comes to certain health risks, particularly cardiovascular ones. A large body of research, including a significant study from the Harvard School of Public Health, has shown this. People with blood type A, B, and AB are at higher risk of coronary heart disease compared to those with type O. The theory is that the A and B antigen can influence levels of certain clotting factors, like von Willebrand factor. Higher levels of these factors can lead to more inflammation and a greater tendency for blood to clot, which contribute to heart attacks and strokes. So, having type O blood might mean your blood is slightly less sticky, reducing the baseline risk for these serious cardiovascular events. One of the most well-documented advantages is its resistance to malaria, specifically the most severe form caused by Plasmodium falciparum. This is a huge deal, as malaria causes hundreds of thousands of deaths each year, mainly in sub-Saharan Africa. The parasite has a harder time binding to and invading type O red blood cells. The mechanism is incredibly cool. The parasite proteins latch onto type A and B cells effectively. They don't recognize type O cells as effectively. This makes it more difficult for the parasite to establish a full-blown infection. Now let's move on to blood type A, believed to be one of the more ancient blood types, evolving as our ancestors transitioned to more agrarian, settled lifestyles. People with type A blood have the A antigen on their red blood cells and B antibodies in their plasma. This simple difference from type O creates a whole new set of interactions with the world around us. One area where type A shows a fascinating dynamic is with malaria. Type O offers the most protection against severe Plasmodium falciparum malaria. Some research suggests type A might offer some degree of protection compared to type B and AB. It's a nuanced picture. The story isn't all positive. Higher clotting factors are relevant for type A. The A antigen links to higher von Willebrand factor, which makes blood more prone to clotting. One of the most cited associations is with stomach cancer. Multiple studies show roughly 20% higher risk compared to type O. The leading theory involves Helicobacter pylori. H. pylori can adhere more easily to the stomach lining of people with type A antigens. Blood type antigens are expressed on other cells too, including the lining of our digestive tract. Next up is blood type B. This blood type is most common in parts of Asia and Eastern Europe and is thought to have emerged later in human evolution, possibly in nomadic populations. People with type B blood have the B antigen on their red blood cells and A antibodies in their plasma. This unique B antigen appears to confer its own set of advantages, particularly when it comes to fighting off certain types of bacteria. One of the most interesting areas of research for type B involves its resistance to some of the most common and troublesome bacterial infections. For instance, some studies have suggested that individuals with type B blood may be less susceptible to severe forms of infection by E. coli and Streptococcus pneumoniae. These are major players in everything from urinary tract infections to pneumonia and meningitis, so any advantage here is significant. The mechanism is thought to be related to the structure of the B antigen itself. This carbohydrate structure on the cell surface can sometimes mimic molecules found on these bacteria. As a result, the immune system of a type B individual may be pre-trained to recognize and mount a more effective and rapid response against these pathogens. This bacterial resistance could have been a massive survival advantage for the nomadic groups where this blood type is thought to have flourished. Living in close quarters and moving through different environments would have exposed them to a wide array of pathogens. Finally, we arrive at the rarest and most modern blood type, AB. People with type AB have A antigens and B antigens, and crucially, no A and B antibodies in their plasma. This makes them the universal plasma donor and the universal red cell recipient. It's a true biological hybrid, resulting from the intermingling of populations carrying the A and B genes. Because type AB is so new on the evolutionary scene, its specific advantages and disadvantages are still being teased out by researchers. It's a more complex picture because it inherits traits from both the A and B lineages. On one hand, having both antigens means type AB individuals share some increased risks, particularly concerning cardiovascular disease. Several large-scale studies have confirmed this. One meta-analysis found that individuals with type AB blood had the highest risk of cardiovascular disease, even slightly higher than type A or B. This is likely due to the combined inflammatory and pro-clotting effects of having both the A and B antigens present. However, the immune response of type AB individuals is unique and can be paradoxical. The lack of circulating A and B antibodies, the very thing that makes them a universal recipient, might have other consequences. Some scientists have hypothesized that this could lead to a more tolerant immune system. This might be a double-edged sword. A study published in the journal Neurology found that people with type AB blood were 82% more likely to develop thinking and memory problems that can lead to dementia than people with other blood types. So after looking at all the evidence, is there a single best blood type? The clear answer is no. Each blood type is a unique evolutionary package. Type O might protect you from heart disease and malaria, but could make you more susceptible to other bugs. Type A and B, unique risks and rewards. Type AB, a rare newcomer with a complex mix from both parent lines. What this really tells us is that knowledge is power. It's another piece of your personal health puzzle. If you have type A, AB, or B, be extra vigilant about your cardiovascular health through diet, exercise, regular checkups. If you have type O, appreciate your built-in advantage, but lifestyle is still the king for long-term health.